I think it's clear that bin Salman is not happy with the trajectory of the Iran nuclear deal or even Biden's approach in pursuing a deal with Iran. I think it's important to stress that if Trump had won the elections as opposed to Biden, then Riyadh today would be pushing for greater pressure on Iran and more increased US involvement in pushing back against Iranian influence in Iraq and Yemen and against the Houthis who have been firing missiles into Saudi Arabia. It therefore follows that bin Salman is not necessarily happy with what is going on, and this is one of the reasons why Biden is sending Brett McGurk to Riyadh to confer with Mohammed bin Salman in order to send one simple message, which is that the US has Saudi Arabia's back. It will not compromise its relationship with Saudi Arabia, and it will guarantee Saudi Arabia's security should Iran decide to use the deal as a launch pad through which to continue expanding in the region and essentially surrounding Saudi Arabia. But the problem for Biden is that Saudi Arabia and Mohammed bin Salman do not believe a word of what the Americans are saying. They do not believe for an instance that there is any interest whatsoever in Saudi Arabia's favor in this deal that is taking place. And the only reason that Saudi Arabia is engaging with the US on this topic is because it has no other choice, because bin Salman believes that he lacks the leverage and he lacks the capabilities to assert his interest and assert representation of his interests in this Iran nuclear deal. And an Arab delegation turned up in Vienna uninvited in a bid to lobby the European powers in order to take their concerns seriously in the Iran nuclear deal. However, this does not necessarily mean that bin Salman will seek to scupper the deal. Bin Salman is aware that he needs Biden's support and he needs the Americans on board for now. Rather, instead, Saudi Arabia is now exploring the prospect of trying to win over Iran's allies. And this was referred to in Mohammed bin Salman's interview, whereby he stated that despite the Houthis being an ally of Iran, they remain Arabs, and that he hopes that the Arab identity will resonate more than the sectarian identity that has brought about this alliance between the Houthis and Iran. And we are likely to see a similar approach in Iraq, where Saudi Arabia will be keen to win over some of Iraq's allies. We've seen in the past the likes of Muqtada Sadr visiting Riyadh. We've seen other attempts by Saudi in the past in order to open doors and reconciliation with some of the Shia parties in Iraq. Bin Salman's strategy now will be to accept that Biden is bulldozing this deal through, but adapting to it accordingly.